Well, hello, everyone. This is Wilson Cole. I'm president of Backdoor Hiring Solutions in Adams, Evans, and Ross. And I want to talk to you specifically about your possessory periods and what's the best way from a collection standpoint to handle that. And if you're looking at it, Wilson, do I have a claim? Do I not have a claim? And, we've discussed this before. And, in a perfect world, you have a signed agreement that they sign off on. And, our attorneys say the best practices are to say, if we present somebody and that person is hired in any capacity, in any position, 12 months from the last discussion or presentation of the candidate, then a fee is owed. And that's kind of key because we will see agreements come in here that say from the first presentation, and that kind of locks it in to where on April 1st, if you present somebody April 2nd of the following year, you're outside the possessory period. But if you talk to them and let's say they put the job on hold, you re-talk to them in November, and you rediscuss this candidate and you document that you rediscuss this candidate. Let's say document. I'm not saying put it into your CRM notes. That's important for your own purposes, but you send them an email. You kind of rediscuss it, try to get them to respond back, and it kind of resets that possessory period. But for certain clients, and for a lot of our clients, it's going to be a little grayer than that. Sometimes I'll have somebody say, hey, Wilson, my agreement says from, last, or from first presentation, or it just says presentation. It doesn't go into the specifics. And they hired them 2 weeks after it. My argument's going to be, did they hire them, and they started? When did they make the offer? When did they re-engage the debtor? So there are shades of gray. Those same shades of gray that I tell you, this is why everybody hates our staff attorneys and our litigating attorneys. We can also use those same shades of gray to make an argument. So, if you have a possessory period and they hire them outside of the possessory period, especially if it's a little ambiguous on the when that presentation kind of locked in, if it doesn't discuss it, let's have a discussion. Running something through collections can sometimes be a little bit different, and is much different than actually having somebody sued, because the bar for collections is a little lower than if you had to sue. Now, I'm not saying that if it's not owed. I'm saying if you presented somebody 10 years ago and they hired them 3 days ago, Wilson, go get that collection. That's probably not going to be feasible. But let's have a discussion on it. Also, make sure that you have a possessory period in there, in my opinion, from a collection standpoint. It's, we have some clients that say, well, Wilson, I want to go after it because mine doesn't have a possessory period. The litmus test that a lot of the folks use is what's the industry standard. So if we send it out to our litigating attorney, for example, in California, industry standard out there is pretty much 12 months. And then that's pretty much industry standard in all states. So if they hired him at 18 months, you're probably, going to be out of luck. But if you had a 24-month period in there, you probably have a pretty good argument. So that's why you want to have it in there. So not having a possessory period, at the best case, is going to drop you to 12 months. But here's where it brings in a defense for the debtor company. Let's say your policy, you get 12 months. Let's say you're working with a company that their policy honestly is, it's not something that they just created today when we talked to them, but their policy is well documented. They can show us all up and down to where they only have a possessory for 6 months. So if you don't put a possessory period in there, whose terms and conditions are going to play? What's the interpretation of it, especially if you don't have a signed contract? That's another reason why I always get a signed contract. But, as an industry standard, the fallback is 12 months. But if the debtor can show that their policy is, always has, and always will be 6 months, it opens up that that gray area that they can argue. So, if you'd like to look for your backdoor hires, please visit our website at backdoorhires.com. Schedule a free demo with our demo team. Or if you have a collection now and you'd like to discuss it with me or one of our staff attorneys, please go to staffingdebt.com. Thank you. Hey guys, it's Wilson again, and this video was brought to you by Backdoor Hiring Solutions. And if you like the content, make sure that you click the like button. And also, if you want to receive additional videos, then please make sure to subscribe to our channel. If you'd like to learn more about our software, please visit our website at backdoorhires.com. And then also, if you'd like a copy of my free book, The Top 9 Excuses, please click in the video notes below, and there's a link where you can get this book absolutely free. Just simply pay for shipping and handling. Thank you.